Nice.
Okay,
Tyler,
so
we've got some seltzer for you.
Mm-hmm.
There's only
Yummy, yay.
this one, dragon grenadilla, and prickly lime.
The
with-
grenadilla one.
Stunning.
And you, Brad?
Whatever there's more of.
That's 2-2.
Give me grenadilla. I had lime earlier.
Oh, we stuck with these.
Lovely. I feel like we're going to do some ASMR shit.
Oh yeah, no, you have to open it like. Nice one, Jared.
Thank you, Brooks.
Got to do a little.
Wait, I can't, guys. I have nails on.
I'll do it for you if you need.
Shame.
Oh,
Cost of beauty.
I'll pass me that one. And you take that one.
I'll have this one, thank you.
Gorgeous.
Not sponsored.
Very much sponsored.
Definitely
Very
sponsored.
Very much sponsored.
Got Brooks all over me.
Nice.
Oh. Have a Brooks. Have a Brooks. Okay, Kara's keeping an eye on camera. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode of the CAYACast. Today, I'm joined by Jared, a introductory member of the Kaya team. We got Kyra on the pod for the first time ever. She's been behind the camera and the interface for the last little while, but she's finally on the pod. Welcome,
Yay.
Kyra. And our guest today is the talented, the lovely Tyler Page. Welcome to the KAYACast. Thank you for coming and spending time with us. I really appreciate
I'm so excited.
it.
I'm even more excited now.
I know.
Yeah.
Now we have Brooks. I did my display thing wrong. I like to start this off by getting you to introduce yourself in the context of how would you like to be introduced by someone if they were introducing you before you went on stage, but as a person, not just, the basic artist intro. How would you like to be introduced? Who is Tyler Page?
Tyler Page is actually, I'm not going to say no one's special. Maybe that's just how I consider
Everyone's
myself.
special.
Yeah,
And
everyone's
you are
special, but I consider myself like a normal person. Like I'm not, I don't know, I don't consider myself as, oh my God, that's Tyler Page. Like, take a photo of me. Like, please don't take a photo of me. I'm very shy.
Tyler Page, it sounds like a stage name though. It sounds like a name you
Yeah.
chose, which is, I think,
Well,
cool.
whenever I describe my name to someone, it's like Tyler, like the boy Tyler, and Page, like a page you write on. And my middle name is Jean, like
Tyler
spelled
Jean
like
Page.
jean, like the jeans that you wear. So
Nice.
I'm like, that's amazing. That's perfect.
We recently had the privilege of not only being at your EP launch, which would have been fantastic in and of itself, but also working with you on filming your EPK and getting to know you as an artist, which was so much fun and a project that we all loved working on. Kyra was one of the videographers. Jared was the editor, the man behind the machine. So I thought that would be fun because you two haven't actually ever met properly, but Jared's watched a lot of
your
your
my entire life.
Yeah.
It's actually weird. It feels like I've known you for a while.
I know.
That's how.
Well, at least that's a good impression that I could give
Well,
off.
you're assuming, but
Oh, okay, never mind.
he is here, so it has been a good impression. You recently released your debut EP, Game Over, and to what has so far been seen, at least as I've seen, to very good reception from the industry at large, from your audience. What has the process of, what has it been like after the release of the EP with, you did the EP launch at the Aquarium, insert video here. Shame, Kara. Or no, you'll end up doing it. Sorry, Jared. At least you've got the video. At least you know what everything is. What has that process been like after the release of your debut EP?
I had a really good reception and I didn't think that I would. Well, I'm not going to say like I think my music's really bad, but I didn't think...
Good.
I just didn't think that a lot of people would like it. And
Then why did you make it?
Because I make music for the love of making music. I'm not
Good
there to
answer.
like...
Are you not pleasing anyone else besides yourself?
No.
Okay.
Like
Fair
I'm
enough.
not trying to be famous. I'm just I love the art of music, so I'm not trying to impress anyone but me and my dad and my mom. Love you guys.
Amen to that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been amazing, and the love that I've received, it's been crazy, but it's overwhelming at the same time because I'm the type of person that I don't like attention at all. Like, I hate being in the spotlight, and that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Especially in the industry that I'm in, to not be in the spotlight in certain situations. But it's been good. Yeah.
Very glad to hear it. The performance was incredible. It looked so gorgeous.
I was so nervous. Oh my days. I was freaking the freak out because that was my first performance.
Yeah, no, was it? No, it wasn't your first. Like,
it was my
first performance of the EP and
in general.
Oh wow! Oh, yeah,
like
you came up during COVID. You haven't had an opportunity to play live.
Have you never sang at school?
No,
really?
I used to be in the choir.
Okay.
But that was so boring. I quit like after 3 sessions.
Okay.
Yeah, no, listen, I was also in the choir, so that goes to show exactly what that means.
Yeah.
Wow, I hadn't thought about it like that. That you're a child of or a musician of COVID.
Yeah, I had my 18th birthday during COVID as well, which sucked.
Yeah, I had my 21st as well.
So that must have sucked.
Actually, it was an amazing birthday because I just had 10 people who I actually wanted to see, and we had dinner,
same.
and that was.
Yeah.
You know what? Frankly,
Literally.
I'm not like, I don't like a big jaw. Well, actually, that's
okay. No,
kind of,
you're lying.
no, that's not true. I
Everyone
do
loves
like a big jaw, but a good jaw. Emphasis on a good jaw. Speaking of good jaws, we just got back from a good jaw,
it was
and you actually played at that good jaw.
Yeah, honey.
You played.
I did.
How was that? Tell us about making your debut appearance. I mean, it's not a month after your first performance.
No,
playing and Rocking the Daisies.
It was crazy. And fun fact, I was actually kind of late to it because I was camping and our camping spot was General 3, so it was like freaking far. Like a 20-minute walk to where I performed.
20 minutes.
20-minute walk.
I legitimately think it was about we were Gen 2 and it was probably a 15-minute walk to the furthest stage.
Like golf carts or something that helped.
Yes, they did, but
only if you paid for it.
Yeah. Yeah, not nice.
Okay.
Very disrespectful. But we took some photos for myself and Kiddo's cover because we're releasing it. Which is really cool. So we took some photos and I wasn't ready to perform, so I had to go all the way back to my camping, which was at like 3, and I had to be at the station at 3 where I was performing. Yeah. I had to be at 3. So already I'm late. And then I had to get done, do my hair, whatever, then go all the way back. When I tell you, I nearly passed out.
Wow.
It was so hot. My face was literally so red, and I was like, I need water, please. I was dying.
So you played the Maybelline station?
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
What was that? I mean, like I watched performances in there, but only DJed performances. Yeah. What was it like playing it live?
It was really cool. Like, listen, like a DJ performance, everyone comes because it's just like music that anyone can jam to. So it's difficult to have like a proper artist performance in such a small thing that's not secluded, but you can't really there's no music to draw you into that place. So it was difficult to get a big crowd in there, but the people that were in there were amazing.
What time was the set? Like 4
to 5.
Yeah
Kiddo was amazing. Like, geez, the way that man can control a crowd and it was amazing just watching him. But my performance with him was mad. It was so good. And I'm not trying to boost my own bubble. No, that's burst my own bubble.
I know what you're getting at. Don't worry.
It's okay.
We know what you're
at. We get you.
Yeah.
It's the end of a long day. It's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to get English right all the time.
Yeah. It was really good. It was so much fun, and singing with someone, especially. It was my first Daisies that I've been to and the first time performing, which was really crazy to me. Not many people can say that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Very few people get to say that.
Yeah. So it was crazy.
What was your highlight performance for you that you saw of other people?
It was 2 DJs. I'm not
Okay,
gonna
I thought you were
lie.
gonna say Kalani, and I was like, except Kalani, because I feel like that's most people's answer.
But I would say Max Harrell and Iman Beck.
Okay, yes.
You're like Max Harrell.
Yeah, both.
Apparently
of those
his
two
set
were
was
amazing.
incredible.
You guys, it was so amazing.
Apparently there was a ton of development that went into like that
Yeah.
set specifically.
Okay.
I can't remember who it was that I saw, but it was like someone I respect in the music industry. It was like, shout out to Max for that set
Yeah.
because wow.
No, he was amazing, and just being in there, with like it was in a dome,
Mm.
like so all the lights, there were smoke machines, and the visuals behind them. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. I want to go back.
What time did he play?
I can't even remember.
Was it early
It
hours
was
of the
towards
morning?
the evening.
Yeah, his was early,
Was
like
it
in the
early?
day. Hey?
That's crazy. Max Harrell during the day.
Oh, I don't have any concept of time, to be honest.
Was it light, Tyler?
In there, it was dark.
Okay,
It was like not light, like not midday.
so it was dusk. It was like evening.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
But he was amazing.
That's
And then we got to meet him, which was really, really cool.
oh, nice.
He's
What's he
such
like?
a nice guy. He's so lovely.
Really?
He's like this like rad DJ, and then like in person he's like, oh my god, how you doing? He's so cool.
Cute. I mean, I think that for me was the takeaway from Daisy's was just the locals were so good.
Yeah.
So good. I was so stoked to be like part of the South African music industry
Oh yeah.
at that, like, because the local acts are what blew me away. Like
Yeah.
they were the performances that I like am talking about now and that I'll remember were from local acts, which is really exciting. I'm trying to. This is a weird one to do a podcast on because I know the answers to all the questions that like
Yeah.
and like we've talked about it and I'm like what so like there's so many things that I like want to talk about, but I also like know the answers to, so I'm trying to phrase them so that they come out interesting for everyone else. I think. Yeah, shame. I must remember that not everyone has the same level of insight as we do. Give people some context into how you started out in or got into the music industry and got your label deal and subsequently the EP.
I literally started off with social media. That was the be all and end all of my music career up to this day. I was always too shy to post on social media. Like, I would send voice notes to my boyfriend of me singing, and he'd be like, Tyler, what the hell? Like, this is really good. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, are you not listening to something
Have your
else?
parents never told you you're such a good singer? Or did you just think,
Yes.
oh, it's my parents?
No, yes, but they did say that, but that's exactly what I thought.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
you're my mom, you're my dad. Like, you have to kind
Yeah.
of say that. You can't drag me down as a parent. But, yeah, off of social media. And I made a video of me playing ukulele in my room, and I didn't even post it. My boyfriend posted it. He was like, Tyler, whatever, don't do it. I'm going to do it. If you don't do it, I'm going to
So
do
you
it.
posted it on
Instagram.
his Instagram?
Yes, on his one.
Okay.
And then, like, Johnny Apple saw it, Jethro Tate, all these people. And then Jethro messaged me on Instagram. He's like, let's do a studio session together. And I was like, honey, what's a studio?
What is that? How
What
does
is
that work?
Yeah, and then I did a studio session with him. And then one of the guys that were there, he mentioned my name to Bad Future. And then they signed me, and then 2 years, or it was like a year and a bit later, I signed with Warner Africa in November last year.
Wow.
Yeah. And yeah.
It's been a journey.
That's where I am right now.
It's been a journey. I mean, one thing we chatted about, or Jared, did you have something you wanted to ask? One thing we kind of chatted about when we were filming the interviews for your EPK was your relationship with social media and your perspective on social media usage, and we didn't get to go into it, and it's obviously something that requires a bit more time and nuance. So here we are. Let's talk about that, because I think it's an important conversation to have, especially in the context. There's corpse. Thanks, Dury. And just end it afterwards, so it doesn't. Yeah, nice. Don't know if you guys can hear that. let's talk about the role that social media. Obviously, it's played a critical role in your career so far, but your personal kind of perception of social media and the role that it plays in. Not only, obviously, it can be an incredibly useful tool, as it has been for you, but there's so many other factors that we don't talk about enough, and there's so many other impacts it can have. So I'm interested to get your thoughts on that.
Listen, I don't like social media. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I need it for my career, but if I didn't need it, I would 100% not use it. It's not like a lust or anything, but in my generation, I'm sure even... Are we in the same generation?
Yes, Tyler.
Yeah,
we're like 2 years apart.
Yeah.
Yo, I feel so fucking old. I feel so aged.
Sorry, I literally don't know anything about these things, guys.
That's okay.
But in our generation, social media can damage a person. Like, one photo can literally just throw a person's day off completely.
So true.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
true.
and social media is just so damaging in such a weird way. And that's so many people I see, so many people are taking breaks from social media, and it's because they see things from other people and they're like, I really want that, or I wish I looked like that, because they don't, and they don't feel pretty. And I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that aspect.
No, I mean, I use social media very sparingly. I think that's the thing. It's like, it's
I
a
think
tool.
you just don't have time.
Yeah, okay, that's true. That's true. I just go on Instagram to reshare things from Kaya and the Kaya Cafe and friends of mine. Like, that's I go on and do my share window, and then I bugger off again for the rest of the day.
By Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's interesting because there's so much good that also gets done through social media, and there's obviously it's a hugely powerful tool to be used, and that's good, and it should be used for that. And I think the problem comes in when people start to correlate it with, this is real life, this is what my value is correlated to how things appear on social media. That's when the issue tends to come in. But you've touched on it. You touched on it in your EPK, and I'm glad we kept those bits in, because I think it's really important to talk about mental health. And I know it's something that you hold quite close to your heart, and it's something that we really like to talk about on the podcast, and especially for people in the creative industry, because it's a very present issue, which you touched on as well. What has been how do you think your mental health has changed for the better or for the worse over this journey of being, discovered on social media, becoming a legitimately recognized and there's a really good word I want to use that I can't find, but like respected young artist in the industry? How has that impacted the way that you look at your mental health, is maybe a better way of putting it?
To be honest, I'm a very anxious person. I get anxiety a lot. And regarding social media, you especially the industry that I'm in, it's not like a nice thing to show people that you aren't feeling good that day. So a lot of the time, like if I do feel anxious, I still have to post on social media like, I'm having such a great day. Like, when actually like behind the camera, I'm literally about to burst into tears.
Wow.
It's just not a nice thing. And I commend artists that are doing that 24/7, because the industry is hard. Like, I don't think people know every industry is difficult. Like, whatever you're doing is difficult. But an artist, it's not that you can't show weakness. It's just that you have this reputation, and you can't really just show people that you're not doing okay. Because then a lot of people...
Okay, I was going to ask, why do you think that you can't?
Because I think that's when a lot of questions start to be asked.
Okay.
Like, why aren't you okay? Did you break up with your boyfriend?
Okay.
Did someone die? Stuff like that. Like, social media isn't a place, in my opinion, where you can be yourself.
Vulnerable.
That's the word I'm looking for. yeah, I don't know. It's a difficult.
Do you still find yourself like looking at the amount of likes you get and your followers going up and down?
Every day.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. Like if I post a video on TikTok and it gets like a certain amount of views, I'm like, but I really love, like I put an effort into this thing. Like, why am I not getting more views?
Yeah,
You know?
I spoke about it on a previous podcast about inputs and outputs. Like back in the like industrial revolution, when people were working in factories, you know, I mean, people still work in factories, but like that was the job, you know, you put in a certain amount of hours and then you get your pay for those hours. In today's day and world, especially in the creative industry, you can like put your heart and soul into something,
Literally.
but it won't always get the same output.
Yeah. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, if you're doing it for yourself, like it shouldn't really matter like what everyone thinks of it. But at the same time, it's almost like you need that validation because you're like, okay, what I'm doing is really good, so I can carry on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's fundamentally, it's like we can all talk about like, you know, yes, you're doing it for yourself, yes, and it's you make music to please what you you know want out of it, but ultimately you don't have a career unless other people fuck with it as well.
100%.
So you are, you know, for better or for worse, completely dependent on whether other people like your shit or not, and that comes down to whether other people like you or not as a brand or as a you know, as an artist in the public eye. But like I want to touch on the, you know, that you feel you can't be vulnerable. Do you think your audience would receive you differently or negatively if you know, were to be more vulnerable with them? Do you think that's what would happen, or is there just a fear of that? Or your point about the questions was a really interesting perspective that I hadn't kind of thought about. It's just like I actually just don't want to be asked about that by a million people.
Yeah, I think it is a fear because if you're going through something, you don't want to like a bunch of people asking you what's going on, because you know when you like on the verge of crying and someone asks you, are you okay? That pushes you over the edge. Like that's when you just break down. You know, like some things you just got to keep personal in your family or your friends. Like the whole world doesn't need to know. You know, but it's difficult because I don't know, you could be smiling in a post but crying behind the camera. And that's just a really sad thing for me to think about.
What's your take on and your perspective on the importance potentially to people in your fan base or who are part of your audience who, you know, I mean, look, we're talking about our generation, so many people have anxiety or depression or some semblance of anxiety at least. We live in an incredibly stressful physical, social, political climate. Do you think there's something to be said or that your audience would gain value from? And I mean, the thing is, you do talk about it, and, you know, that's really, you know, fantastic in and of its own right. But for you to be able to feel that you can be more honest about that or more like upfront about it on social media when you are feeling like, do you think that would also help you, or do you think it's just, I don't actually just want to deal with the questions, so it's like I'm not.
I don't necessarily think it would help me posting it on social media, but it could help someone else to know that someone else feels the same way that they do. But for me, I'm the type of person that just keeps things to me. Like, I don't want to put my problems onto someone else. Unless I'm like literally like on the edge, dude, that I'm like, please help me.
See, Tyler, you and me are similar in that way. And I was recently told that I need to not be doing that kind of thing. And I need to be.
It's unhealthy.
Apparently, it's not good for you. Don't know what you mean. My back is not a complete, absolute mess of knots and whatever from holding all of my strain in. Not in the slightest. What do you mean? I think. I hadn't thought about the perspective of, you know, I'm open to talking about it, but I actually just don't want to be putting it out there just so I don't have to engage with it, because that, you know, is almost like re-traumatizing the same thing in. And I think that leads into kind of people's perspective on people in the public eye and how you know, I don't think, and I'm saying I don't think we think about it enough because it's not something that I thought about, is if an artist puts something like that out and you send them a genuinely very well-intentioned message to say, hey, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Like, how re-traumatizing or you know,
It's almost like relive that moment.
And every time that happens, and just like a reminder to people that all of the celebrities, artists, whatever, are human beings as well. And even when they're being real about their shit, like, would you want everyone in your life to actually message you and ask you about it? Or, you know, do you just want some simple acknowledgement and to feel seen?
Talking about your followers, do you have some like diehard
Oh,
Tyler Page
yeah.
fan? Really?
I really do, and it's so funny to
Like
me.
fan pages.
No, I don't have any fan pages.
But like
I'll start
diehard.
I'll start it up.
diehard
Don't worry.
yeah, I do. Like, I have like 2 or 3.
Like, what? Tell us a story. Like, what's the craziest thing they've like said or?
No,
Or-
it's
or
just
done.
like there's this guy from Mexico.
Shout out you, dude.
bro.
Yeah.
Definitely watching the podcast.
Like every single song or anything, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I love that! Hi from Mexico," and I'm like, "Hi, I love you." So cute.
That's
It's
so wholesome.
Cute. It is the cutest thing
All
ever.
cross-cultural, cross-border appreciation. We love it. Clearly the music's making its way overseas, which is
Yeah, it's
very
amazing.
exciting.
Where is
Yeah.
your like? I'm sure you've looked at your like your or
Yes.
your. Where's besides South Africa? Where's the biggest?
Weirdly enough, the Ukraine
Wow.
and Turkey.
Interesting.
I
Super
think it was
interesting.
Turkey who had the most. Which is
That's
weird to
really
me.
Above South
Interesting.
Africa.
Yeah.
Really?
Almost. I don't know. It was either like on the same level. I don't know. But Turkey was way up there.
That's
Yeah.
so
Like,
Wow.
especially
interesting.
on
Super
TikTok,
interesting.
most of my viewers are from Turkey.
That's very interesting. I wonder why.
I know. Me too.
You're clearly appealing to a particular subset of the Turkish social media market, which is interesting, but good for you, I
Have
guess.
you traveled anywhere
No.
outside of South Africa?
Never.
Inside South Africa.
Only inside, and that's literally been to Durban and Joburg.
She wasn't
So I've
lying. bro.
literally gone nowhere.
So what? World tour soon.
Yeah, guys.
What is the next? What's coming next, music-wise? Whether it's are you doing a few shows now? Are you
I mean,
working on
hopefully
new
I wanna
projects?
do more shows.
Okay, well, I've got a show for you to do. We're gonna
Do you
talk about that.
actually?
Yeah.
Okay, chips me. Nice.
Got you.
But I definitely want to perform more. I love performing. Like the literally 3 times that I've performed. I sound like such a loser, guys. Like the
Yeah, no,
3
no.
times.
Yeah, 3 times,
Been
but
doing
one of
music
them
for
was
2
the
years and
aquarium and
performed
one of
3.
them was Daisies.
Exactly.
So, like, quality over quantity
Yeah.
clearly is the name
And
of
I
the game.
performed at this business gig. Oh,
Okay, so
literally,
third on the list, clearly.
Yeah, but it was good. But like, wow,
Corporate gigs.
literally.
Corporate
I
gigs
couldn't
are
deal
just-
with myself. Like, I'll perform 2 songs and wait 2 hours, perform another 2 hours, another 2
Wait,
hours,
what?
wait.
That's
What?
exhausting.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Why did that happen?
Because it was an awards ceremony, so everyone was handing out awards to these people.
For the whole day.
Yeah, from like it started at 7. I only ate dinner at 1 o'clock in the morning. So can you?
Yeah, I can see. I
Yeah,
can see.
it
That's
just was not lekker.
That's a tiring set.
It
Like,
was
that's a
very
horrible.
tiring.
That's horrible to have
But you
to
got to
go
get that
through.
bag. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that
Mhm.
corporate gigs always provide considerably more by
just
way of bag in
provide.
general. Yeah, they do just.
Yeah.
It gives
Provide.
what it's meant to give.
But then it's just a dodgy performance, like a dodgy context usually. Yeah, not a traditional performance by any extension of the.
Yeah,
of
and
the
no
meaning.
one really cared that I was there,
they're
which
just
sucked.
like, really? Or they're like, oh, background music.
No,
Were they watching you perform?
lies.
Oh, they were just like,
No, I was just like there doing my thing, and everyone's like chatting, doping, eating, and I'm like,
Wow.
thank you so much.
You've really had quite a spectrum of performances over your 3
Yeah.
gigs, that's for sure. Another thing that you meant that we chatted about that didn't end up going to the EPK, which I thought was really interesting, was you spoke quite passionately about men's mental health.
Mm.
And- And
Wow.
you touched on some really interesting points that I think, yeah, we generally just need to talk about men's mental health
Yeah.
a shitload more. But yeah, I mean, I found that interesting. Obviously, not being one, that it was something that meant so much to you as a
Yeah.
everyone's mental health should mean a lot more to
Yeah.
everybody. But yeah, I mean, expand on that because that was interesting and you had some interesting points.
It's just there's there's mental health and then there's men's mental health. You know, like
Wow.
it's true though. Like men's mental health isn't spoken about like at all. Like I've probably never seen anyone speak about men's mental health, and it's so crazy to me because men's mental health is so crazy. Like it's huge, and it's something that is so traumatic because it's not that men don't know how to speak about their emotions, it's just that they were brought up not to. You know, like grow up, have balls, son. Stop crying, that's a girl thing. Like you kick like a girl. Like just like little jabs like that. You know, like it traumatizes a man when they start growing up. And I think that's how a lot of relationships can also end, because communication is also a really big thing in relationships. And when you can't communicate to your partner why you're feeling in a certain way, no one's going to understand. And it's going to be like, okay, F you, we're done, you know. And a lot of men, because they aren't brought up the same way that girls are, that it is okay to cry and it is okay to, you know, hug a friend and just be there in the moment. Like, I never see any of my guy friends hug each other to be like, are you okay, dude? Like,
Okay, yeah, not in that way. I was about to say, I hug all my guy friends.
Yeah.
But not, I wouldn't
yeah,
hug them
but
in that
exactly
sense.
what I'm saying. Like, if my
But why,
girlfriend was
Jared?
crying,
I mean, it is like, I don't think specifically hugging someone and asking them, are you okay? As a man, you know what I mean?
yeah,
You don't have to do that. Something similar would be, like, similar to hug would be like, okay, I'll take you for a beer, boy. I'm going to talk about this.
yeah.
For me, that's the same. You get me?
No, I do get you.
I do.
I see it, I see
Like,
it.
obviously, you know, no one has the same way that they
translates
want
the
to be
same.
cared for and spoken
Like, I can
with.
say the same to my girlfriend. Like, let's have a girls' night, have a glass of wine, do face masks. You know, but I don't think there's ever that conversation between two guys to say, like, dude, let's sit down. What's going on? Cry on my shoulder. I have space for you to lay your tears. Let's cry together. You know, like, yes, I've seen those situations when people are drunk, but never while.
Yeah. No, I get, it is true. It is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think what that comes down to, and obviously it's not that it never happens, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and I think, like, I'm very lucky that I have male friends where we have cried with one another and been there for one another, and the power and the vulnerability and everything that comes from that is immense, and it doesn't affect our relationship other than to strengthen it. But that being said, I think there is still such a huge pressure for men, even men who are more conscious of their own emotions and and you know, the fact that they are entitled to feel those things, and they are entitled, like, there's still such intense pressure to not do that regardless, or to kind of just like sit on it and eat it and just, like, you know, other people are dealing with their shit, there's no space for me to put mine down there. And I think it's a very common thing of, like, feeling like you can't be a burden, you can't be someone who is going to take time from somebody else's day because, and I mean, like, I say this because I know I feel like that sometimes, where it's like you just have to, you know, you don't want to be an inconvenience. You don't want to, you know, ruin the vibe. You don't want to put anything else onto anyone else's plate. And as true, you know, and as hard as, and as toughly ingrained that is into society and how we deal with one another, like, we have to get out of that headspace because it's killing so many men.
Oh no, it
at a
really
ridiculous
is.
Rate.
It really is.
And yeah, like, and yeah, I mean, it comes down, there's so many incredibly complex factors that we just don't understand, and it's also self-perpetuating, and then you have men who are told by their fathers that they can cry, so then they don't know how to parent their sons to be able to, or, you know, and ultimately, yeah.
I also feel like, I just lost my thought now. Like in relationships, it's like it's all going back to like how men were brought up back in the day or whatever. Like in relationships, men need to be the, like, wear the pants, be the strong person. Like they can't go to their partner and be like, honey, I'm not doing well today, because they need to be the person that's like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Grounded.
Like they can't be vulnerable because they need to be that person that's keeping everything together.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's such a weight on men's shoulders not to be vulnerable, because it's also like, it's a weird thing to see in our society, which is so sad.
Yeah.
And it should not be like that
Yeah.
at all.
No, I mean, and you make a good point. I think it's, and I mean, personal is about me and Gina's relationships. I'll have to watch this back and check that she's fine with it. But even, and this is in a I'm just using it as an example, in a relationship where I'm very in tune with how I feel. I don't have any problem conceptually expressing my emotions, being honest about when I'm not feeling good, and I will do it, you know, when the opportunity makes sense. But at the same time, and in a relationship with an incredible woman who's so open to having those conversations and so supportive of that and me, and in a space where I can be vulnerable and I can cry, and I know that doesn't affect anything. All of that aside, in like, as a man who's conscious of all of those things in a relationship with a woman who's aware of the importance of, I still so often won't talk or like won't voice how I'm feeling or won't do anything just because there's something else going on and it's stressing us both out, or there's other stuff that's happening in her life that means her plate is full, and I'm like, I can't take space there because your plate is full. But so often it ends up happening, and obviously nothing, I'm not placing blame for anyone on that. It's just the extent to which there's this pressure on men to feel that is that my point is, in that example, like, that's the best case scenario. Is that I've been brought up in a school and with friends, and where I feel comfortable doing that, and my partner's receptive to it, and I know it doesn't affect how she perceives me as a man and all that. Like, I still won't. And then in that context, it's like, how hard must it be then for men who weren't brought up that way, weren't brought up with a mother who told them that it was okay for them, weren't brought up with a father who told. My dad, like, has always told me that it's okay to cry and that there's not, and the fact that I still sit with all of that societal pressure is what makes me so, like, passionate about having the conversation, because if it's that bad for me, like, it's got to be so much worse for everyone else, because I'm sitting in the best case. And it's still so hard, and I still don't do it, and I still won't, raise certain things, and I'll carry stress until it absolutely, because I don't want to be a burden on somebody else. And I think that's like, we have to change that thinking, is like, no, you're not being a burden. Like, you're just a human being with feelings that need to be acknowledged and dealt with, and you can't deal with it all on your own.
We're literally all the same, man or woman. We still feel emotions.
Yeah.
Like, it literally does
Differently
not
though.
matter. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
But
Explain how. I'm keen to know.
I mean, I think from a biological point of view, I feel like women are way more emotional than a man. I think women are more emotional and men are more, how can I say, like, logical, if that makes sense. Like, I need to get something done, okay, it's going to get done, but not only in that sense, but like, you just think about the end goal, not what happens in between.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
So I mean, and I hear you on that.
Yeah.
But is that something that's inherent, or is it something that's just so deeply societally ingrained? Because I know I'll do the same thing, because I know what you're talking about. Like, I'll just chew it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter how unhealthy I'm feeling, how sore I am, how exhausted I am, how I'm an ambivert. So
What's an ambivert?
someone who's
Introverted and
introverted and extroverted.
Oh, that's
So
like
you know,
me.
yeah.
I didn't even
Exactly.
know that word.
Yeah. See, we're changing.
Are you an ambivert as well?
I think so.
We're all
Yeah.
ambiverts.
I think it's like most things. Like you're probably not one or the other exclusively. You're probably somewhere in the middle. But like sometimes I'll just be exhausted of human beings. But I'll actually just go, no, I've got something to do. I'm going to chew it and I'm going to get it done. And I will get it done. And I can chew it. And I can do that a lot for a long time through, an insane amount of work and stress and all of that. And I can do that.
I think anyone
But-
can do that.
but-
though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it takes a lot of stamping down shit
Oh,
so
yeah,
that one doesn't deal with it.
definitely.
And to your point, what I wonder is if we've done that so much and because of societal pressure that's gotten so bad, it's become so inherent and so trained that it feels like that's just how we respond biologically. Because I mean, there also could be a biological element, but it's interesting to and there's definitely differences in how we react.
Yeah.
Different hormones also do affect how you process emotion, and so obviously there's hormonal differences biologically, so there will be that difference.
Yeah,
But
I suppose it's very, very slight in terms of like the mother female needs to be more caring and things like that to look after the baby. So if you look at it in that point, probably very slight in terms of
there'll
but
be
it's-
some. There's always differences.
definitely
Yeah. Societal.
ingrained
Yeah.
from society. I
It's
think.
so much training to just like, and it works. Like you can do it, and you can put men through a lot, and they can just chew it
Yeah.
and
Wow.
get through.
But surely you get to a point
and that's
where you're like,
the
I
problem.
physically cannot.
That's the problem. And
Yeah.
and I think that
Yeah.
is exactly the point. And then you have people,
Yeah,
where you
'cause, like,
don't have
For me,
relationships.
if I need to do something, I'll get it done. But I'm like, I'll still feel really bad, but I still get what I need to do done.
Mm.
But when I'm done, I'm like, okay, scheduled breakdown for 5 p.m.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
after I'm done everything, let's just let everything out and carry on.
Yeah.
But that's what I feel like men don't know.
Don't give
Yeah.
ourselves the permission to.
I've never done that.
Yeah. No, me neither. I'm like,
sometimes
I've got one thing done. I've got another thing to get done.
Like,
I'm on a roll.
Momentum, baby. No,
Like,
it's,
I'll be like, Tyler, you need to cry.
no, it's true. A cry is so
Oh,
good
it
for you.
feels so
beneficial.
Don't you think the concept of like physically crying doesn't make sense to me? Why do you?
I know, it freaks me out too.
Why do your eyes
There's
water?
No, it is
you
a
do there's a you get toxin release through your tears, so it literally is shedding toxins.
So if I sweat, is it the same thing?
Well, yes, that's why
So go
people.
to a nice sauna session.
Well, that's
Sharp.
why people do like it's. I mean, saunas are
Yeah.
not physical.
I thought that was
It's-
just to lose
I mean,
weight.
yes, it is, but it's mental as well, dude.
I
Okay.
literally
Hold
thought it
on,
was meant to
urea
lose
through
weight.
your eyes. This is urea.
No, I don't know if it's specifically urea. There's different toxins, but I know there's lots of ways your body get rid of toxins. It's not just through urea.
I was like, what?
Yeah,
Sorry,
you
it's-
don't piss through your eyes.
That's
Like, no,
Passing
it's.
through our eyes.
I read something once about there's a reason why you like it's a way to release.
Does
something
anyone's
or other.
eyes get itchy after they cry?
Yeah,
I
that's just
I've-
because you lose
I think I've
lubrication.
tried
Oh, I thought
Like
it was because of
twice
toxins now.
in my adult life.
Jared, we need to get you to have a few more
Jared.
cries.
No, we need
for-
to
Twice.
actually just have like a
Twice.
group session where we just cry for you guys.
No, but
I
like
just physically don't. Like I can be how upset or sad about
That
something.
is, like,
So, okay,
Another
how
thing.
do you let your emotions out?
I drink.
and therein lies.
No, I'm joking. I'll go to gym. I'll exercise.
Mm.
I'll
Okay,
exercise.
I
I feel
also
like a
that
lot
was
of guys
huge
do
for me
that
as well.
Mm.
Through high school, that was like my release. It was where it's what you do to get rid
Yeah,
of
no, you have
everything.
to.
Just lift some heavy shit,
Yeah.
and then you put it down again, and then you repeat, and it's
To me, if I go to gym, it's because I'm angry.
yeah. Well,
So, yeah.
But like, not
Do you
if
know, we're
not
all
if I'm like
sitting-
anxious and I need to let out my emotions. Like if I'm angry at something, I'll be like,
No, but-
you
but-
know?
Tyler, don't you get it? We've been taught that the only valid emotion men can have is anger. So
Sorry,
you
I forgot
convert
about that.
everything into anger, and then you go to gym, and then
Go
Fair.
fight your demons in the gym.
yeah, go fight your
Fair.
demons and and then come out. But I mean, it's true, and I think, I mean, you made the joke about you drink, but I think a lot of men do that because it's the only state in which it's societally acceptable for you to be emotional, for
Literally.
you to be
Cry.
more, or to cry, or to be loud, or to be. It's the state where you're societally excused from doing that,
That's
and
Because
so you
it's
can
just
get
like,
away
oh
with
no,
it.
he's drunk.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
he's drunk.
It's an
Like,
excuse.
Whatever.
It's an excuse,
you
and-
know?
and I think so many men are so pressured into not ever deviating from the baseline that
Mm.
you have to find a way, like give yourself an excuse to do that, where you can also, it's an excuse and it's a protective mechanism for if anyone says anything. They're like,
Yes. It's like,
man,
no,
you
I
were
was
really
drunk,
vulnerable
dude,
last
like-
night. You're like, I'm drunk.
Yeah.
I wasn't, I'm not
Wow.
actually
I can't
vulnerable.
remember
What do you
that.
mean? I don't
So
remember that.
Yeah.
Are you making it up?
That's
And
low-key super deep.
It is
Yeah.
though, dude. Like it's so sad though.
Mm.
At the
100%.
same time.
100%, because yeah, and it is a thing of, you do get taught that your emotions and vulnerability is a weakness, and
Mm.
if you can't do it on your own, if you can't handle it on your own, it's because you're too weak. And it's like, no, dude, like we live in the most we live in the most stressful time in human history for
Mm.
so many different reasons. And I mean, there's a lot of biology that goes into the fact that we are not supposed to deal with the stress and the global angst of 8 billion people. You're not built to do that. You're built to handle like 150 people's shit at a push. And that's like supposed to be the like,
That's like a lot
limit.
for me to think about though.
Oh, yeah, no, it's called-
I was in your village, bro.
yeah, no, but that's the thing. It's someone's number. I forget what the number. It's like some social scientist went and figured it out. I can't remember the name, but
There's
it's
also some crazy fact that everybody is 7 people away from everyone.
yeah. I heard it was 6, but no, but you can try it because
Wait,
as soon as
what?
you start, yeah, you're at most 6 relationships away from anyone else in the world.
Whoa. Wait,
That is
wait, I'm
trippy.
so confused. I'm
That's
like,
so
So-
trippy.
So like I'm 7 people away from like Michael Jordan or like Cristiano
Like 7
Ronaldo.
connections.
Yeah.
So like I know so and so who knows so and so who knows
Oh,
so and
I
so who
understand
knows
now.
Michael
Yeah.
Jordan.
So it's that's
so
crazy.
someone down the street could know Justin Bieber. Is that what you said?
You're
basically?
6 connections away from Justin Bieber. So if you just talk to the right people, you could end up talking to Justin Bieber. You just say, yeah, you just find each person in the list to get to that
That's
person.
crazy.
But that's where you're probably a lot closer than that, frankly. You're in the
Yeah, I
music
was
industry.
gonna say.
You're signed with Mono Music. You're probably like 2 to 3
I
people
am one
away.
of your connections.
You're probably no, but seriously, you're probably 2 to 3 people away, like connections away. Think about it. You
Could
know,
be,
if Paul probably knows someone who works with his label, who probably knows his
True.
manager, who knows him.
that is so true. Wow.
In fact, I would suggest you
It can
follow that
happen.
and see if it works.
Yeah.
Find the person that Paul knows at
Medium.
his label and see if you get
Yeah,
anywhere.
Maybe meet some people,
I see
honey.
you have some tattoos. Specifically speaking about the one on your wrist.
I noticed that
this
as well.
one.
Yeah. What?
You can't see
Is
it right
there a
now.
story? Is there a story?
It's
Some people have stories, some people don't.
the-
It's a song, right?
Yes,
What?
it's the waveform for "Don't Believe the Aliens." My first single that I've ever dropped.
Okay.
Wow.
That's
Sick.
cool.
Yeah.
Sick.
I designed it myself.
What, the waveform?
No,
I was going to say, I don't think that's how it works.
No, the waveforms from
Yeah,
Spotify.
Spotify. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
And it's like just a little alien.
Cute. Do you have any other tattoos?
I have this one, but it's really badly done. Don't look at it, please.
Okay. Mine
It
also
says-
has
It
little
says
bits.
everything happens for a reason,
Oh.
but it's really badly done. And I'm still hacking the man to redo
Clean
it,
it
but
up.
he's just blanking me, and I'm like, that's fine.
Dude, fix Tyler's tattoo. otherwise we'll call you out on the podcast. Good
Yeah.
luck. Jokes, I'm not making threats. Everyone relax, chill. I won't actually do it. It's just for
Are
the
you
bit.
planning on getting any more? Do you want to
Oh,
get
I
more?
want so many. I have so many planned. Tattoos are expensive, honey.
Tattoos
Are
are
you planning one
expensive.
right now?
I have like 7 planned.
Oh, let's hear
What's
it.
the next one?
I want to get my parents' birth dates in Roman numerals.
Mm.
Okay.
On your
So
ribs.
sweet.
Yeah. And on these ribs because it's close to my heart.
Cute.
That's so cringe. I'm so sorry.
At least you said it. No, but it's like sometimes cringe things are just cringe because everyone does it, but that's just because it's actually cute. So it's
Mm.
like
It is cute, guys.
It
Come
is,
on.
yeah.
It is
like-
cute.
I would I legitimately I would love to get and like I don't know if I'll ever actually get it because it is like quite a cringe one, but like the like heart with your mum, like just a heart and mum
Sorry.
But like you have to get it on your chest.
on your corp, bro. No,
on
you
your-
get
on
it
your
on the.
bicep.
You have to
I actually
you have to
wanna-
shave your
I
head
wanna
and then
do
get the
that
heart with
and
mum.
Get a tattoo on the side of my head, and then like
You have a lot of tattoos.
I have just these.
Oh.
Yeah,
Tell me about them, honey.
these.
Mm.
Well, it's technically only one.
Oh, that's stunning though.
Show the camera.
That's
Sick.
stunning.
But no, it's literally I just like saw a bunch of inspiration on like Pinterest and stuff. This is
Yes.
like my first tattoo, so I was fucking.
You are working
I was
hard.
on Pinterest, bro. Like 3:00 in the morning. But yeah, so there's the snake around the hand. So the snake was separate, the hand, and then the butterfly with the skull in it.
Cute.
And I was like, gave it to the artist, and I was like, put it together.
that is
Sick.
so
Yeah.
cute. I also really want a snake. I want a snake so badly, but on my hand.
Ooh.
Like going onto your thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be sick. That'd
Yeah.
be sick.
Oh my goodness, I want that so badly.
Then just
It's
do
my
it.
dream.
Just do it. And otherwise,
Honey,
you
with
will.
what money? I need to like. I'm
Come
about
on,
to start
you-
begging on the
We need to
streets.
get you all. Get you a gig and tickets it and then make money off it.
I just need someone to sponsor me with a tattoo.
We have a tattoo artist literally working in here at the moment.
So,
Literally
honey,
in, like,
what is
here.
going on?
We'll
That's crazy.
put you in touch. Get in touch. Shout out
Mhm.
Ooms Perks. Check out
Yeah.
Ooms on Instagram because she's an absolute legend and the algorithm's being a bitch.
Ooms
Um,
Perks, check out Tyler Page.
I'm getting there.
Right,
I was
yes,
obviously
right
going to
here.
do your one. This is just the one in context. Sure, time has flown. That was wild. I did not realize we were that far in. Have I
Oh,
misread the number? No, I haven't.
where's
Hectic.
the number?
50, bro.
Damn.
Deep.
That went quickly.
Dude, were
Deep.
we talking for 50 minutes?
Yeah.
Hectic.
That's
bro.
great.
Right?
I
It's
also
like
wanted to ask
15.
you about your favorite song and what's been.
Oh my
Okay, well,
God.
ask, let's do them quickly. Yeah, we'll do it all, a
Yeah.
few like quick fire fun
By the
ones.
way, I downloaded your EP the day after. Just saying. Just saying.
It's, yeah.
Flex.
Another
Yeah.
diehard
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
This-
like,
Right there.
what song do you resonate with the most?
In my EP.
Mhm. Like
That's
right now, at
difficult.
least.
Right now, I would say Game Over.
Mm.
Because it's just like, I'm a woman. The song speaks
That one's
about
a
being a
banger.
woman.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
It
happens
got
in
some heat, that one.
attitude, honey. It has so much attitude. I love it.
And what's your favorite one to perform at the moment?
Either Losers Club, because it's like super retro, you
Mm.
know, like chilled vibes, and Try Again. I love performing
Yeah,
Try Again.
I love Try Again as
Yeah.
well.
My
I
favorite
love
is
Try
it,
Again.
if it wasn't for you.
Oh yeah, actually, I love
Nah.
performing that one too.
Shame.
I forgot about that
Jared's
one.
heard that song.
like 150 times.
Editing
Oh,
through the
yeah,
busking
yeah.
footage. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Did you have any other quick questions that you wanted to ask?
I think I just wanted to like ask about the music and like, yeah, so you said that the engagement's been good. You were like pleasantly surprised by that. What song is getting the most?
I don't even know. I mean, I'd assume Try Again because it's the most like upbeat song.
Yeah.
And I feel like people will just jam to it without like
Mm.
knowing who the hell I am.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
energy, high energy song, that
But
one.
to be honest, I haven't even checked.
Have you got on
Really?
radio?
Yes.
Mm.
Nice.
Have you done any radio interviews?
Yes, honey.
Who have you done? Nah, never mind. It's fine. That's a rough question to ask you right at the
A
end.
lot.
Yeah, that was impractical to ask. The last question I want to ask you, and it's one of my favorites, and we haven't really touched on it too much, but we've talked about it, is with imposter syndrome and like feeling like, you know, like getting into the industry and feeling like you
yes.
don't, you know, do I belong? Do I, you know, do I deserve this? All of that. I know we've talked about it, but what would be your advice to not to yourself, because that's always much harder, but to a young artist who is where you were a few years ago, or who just loves singing but doesn't know what to do, or has just started getting some traction, and they're not sure how they should feel about it and whether they belong, whether they deserve it. What would be your advice to that young artist who isn't sure whether they should, whether they deserve a place in the industry?
I think I'll just tell them to carry on and believe in themselves and not care about literally anyone else but them. And if they're doing what they love, just carry on. And if they don't know if they belong there, you'll never know unless you try.
Boss. That is correct, indeed.
That was
Lovely.
actually me. If I didn't try on social media, I wouldn't be here right now.
Try again. That was smooth. On that note, I think we'll wrap things up so that it's a nice, relatively tight episode.
Game over.
Game over, indeed. Nice. I wonder if Thanks, Peanut Gallery. Tyler, thank you so much for spending time with us and
Thank
joining
you.
us and sharing your energy and your story with us. Thank you, everybody. Those who have watched or listened thus far, thank you so much for staying with us. Make sure you like and subscribe
And we'll
and
be commenting.
comment. Oh yeah, what are we commenting?
Comment your favorite song from the EP.
Yeah, comment your favorite song from Tyler's EP. And yeah, like, subscribe, share the episode with your friends.
Follow Tyler.
I was
Yes,
getting
please follow me.
follow Tyler. Her link will be in the description. Follow all of us on Instagram because we'll also be linked in the description. Why not? While you're at it, might as well. Yeah, make sure you're subscribed. Give us a follow so you can keep up with all the exciting things happening in our beautiful Cape Town creative industry. And on that note, goodbye.